Hello, everybody. Can you please take a seat and we can get started? Okay. Welcome, everybody, to the 153rd Melbourne AWS User Group Meetup. You can all sit down. So, as always, I would like to start by acknowledging traditional custodians of land throughout the country, throughout Australia, and the connections to land, sea, and community. Our in-person meetup here is being held on the lands of the Wurundjeri people, and I wish to acknowledge them as the traditional owners of this land. We pay our respect to their elders past and present, and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders people today. Just as important, I also want to remind everybody we have a code of conduct. The short version is here. There's a longer version there on the website, and the very short version is be nice to each other. If you see something, or if somebody does something to you, or you see something happening that is not appropriate, please let one of us know. It's myself, Jason at the back, Matt there, or anonymously through form on the website on the same page, and go from there. You can find us on the website, on the internet. We have our website, which tends to hold all the information. Obviously, meetup.com as well. We are on LinkedIn. Sometimes remember to actually post announcements there. And obviously, if you are watching this live, you know that we are on YouTube, where we live stream and where you can rewatch previous meetups. The plan for tonight. The introductions, that's the boring bit I'm doing now. We'll skip past that quickly. Then we'll have Matt telling us a bit about everything that's new in AWS. Or in this case, it's not just what's new, but also what's leaving AWS. After that, we've got Dale and Hezra talking about IAM Access Analyzer, and this is followed by Vanita, but using the QDeveloper CLI. We'll end with our usual marketplace segment. For those of you new, that is a chance for everybody to stand up and say, hey, we're hiring, please talk to me. Everybody who wants to gets about 30 seconds, just a quick, who am I, what are you looking for? The reason we do it this way is so that if you happen to be looking for a job but are sitting next to your current manager, it might be slightly awkward if you say, hey, I'm looking for a new job. Hopefully this bypasses that. And then we will all nicely leave this lovely venue. Ask questions, always. Just unless the speaker or speakers say different, please save your questions until the end. A very common thing is that your question will be answered on the next slide. If you're watching online, you can ask in the YouTube chat or on the Slack channel. We couldn't do this without our sponsors. Our gold sponsor, Mental Group, and our silver sponsor, CIFO. And of course, a venue sponsor, NAB, to provide this lovely venue. Without our sponsors, we wouldn't be able to do this or have our food and drinks available for all of us. I mentioned Slack earlier. If you're not on the Slack yet, you can look at it. You can join there, just fill in the form, you get the email invite, and all good. Got lots of interesting channels, chatter going on, more or less based on what's going on. Obviously, sometimes there's more chatter than other times, but let's get involved. We are always looking for speakers, just like every other meetup around here, everywhere. We need speakers to have a fun evening. We can have a fun evening without speakers, but that's not why we're here. We're here to listen to the experiences of our fellow AWS users. Sponsors is a topic that's coming up again. We have yearly sponsorships, and we're already getting to the end of the year. We only have one more meetup after this, and then the one after that will be January. So if your company might be interested in sponsors, please talk to Matt. He is the man for the money. Yeah. And of course, if you want to help out in any way as a volunteer or helping us organize things, reach out as well. Upcoming events. Probably nobody has ever heard of this one, reInvent in Las Vegas. If you've never been and you get a chance to go, definitely do so. If you have been and want to go again, of course, also do so. I'm sure, does anybody here know they're going yet? There, yep. See several people. All various ways of sponsorship, I believe. Other than that, not many meetups have been scheduled yet for November. The only one I could find so far is the well-architected one, which will be in 2 weeks. And with that, I will hand it over to Matt to tell us about all the new stuff.
How exciting. All right, so just like every month, we start off with what has come to Melbourne, and the answer is a bunch of stuff. It sounds like there might be somebody at the door. All right, we start off with EC2 auto scaling, predictive scaling capability, yay. Nitro enclaves. Anybody using Nitro enclaves at all? No, okay. Well, that came to all remaining regions, so technically it came to Melbourne. New instance sizes, yay, you know, C8Gs, you know, R8Gs, MSK, Express Brokers, nothing else really exciting. Sydney got some love for the first time in a while. They haven't gotten a bunch of new stuff recently. OpenSearch, bunch of new instance sizes, a bunch of new EC2s. They got all the new GDs and whatnot, and Neptune Analytics. So nothing overly exciting coming our way recently. Just, you know, the age-old annual time to look at my EC2 instances and see if it's worth upping to the new instance size. On the compute space more generally, the new M8As, yay. And EC2 Capacity Manager was something announced right back at the beginning of the month. So yeah, haven't had a chance to play with it. Don't know how good it is or not. Kinesis data streams now supports 10 times larger data payloads, up to 10 megabytes in record size. So if you've been sitting there with your Kinesis data streams going, man, I wish I could have bigger payloads. Now you can. Yay. Don't all rush out and, you know, start consuming Kinesis right away. Also, RDS for SQL Server now supports retaining your CDC configurations on backup restores. That is nice if you're still stuck in the land of Microsoft SQL and haven't managed to get off onto Postgres or something just yet. In the container space, social media was all abuzz with this back at the beginning of the month. ECS managed instances are now available, and why would I want to use those over Fargate, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. In addition to that, it's now available in all commercial regions. Yay. So it was announced back at the beginning of the month, and it became available across all the platform, I think last week from memory. And then ECS now publishes CloudTrail data events for API activities. So a little bit more visibility into your ECS stack in your CloudTrail data. So, you know, a little bit more of an idea as to what's going on at the environment level. On the machine learning space, age-old thing, 2025 has been nothing if not the year of so many machine learning updates that really don't mean all that much. Bunch of new models, all right? So all the new Claude 4.5 stuff. Bedrock Agent Core is now generally available. So that's come out of its preview and is now, you know, an all grown-up service. The MCP server capability for Agent Core also went live. New v4 model embeddings for the Nova range, and then a few new nice-to-have Bedrock capabilities around data automation and some new quick suite, you know, capability for, you know, AI development and all of those sorts of things. Nothing overly revolutionary, nothing overly, you know, surprising on the ML front. Still very limited model capability in Melbourne and Sydney, no surprise. On the networking front, again, a lot of announcements, but they can really be summed up with IPv6 to a bunch of stuff. So DynamoDB, when it's working, now supports IPv6. Auto scaling, NetApp on tap, file server, network firewalls, all of those sorts of bits and pieces. And then a few new VPC endpoint capabilities to things like storage gateway and the like. The one interesting one there is probably application load balancer launches URL and host header rewrite capability. So if you've been sitting there, you know, wishing that you could do a little bit of the funky stuff at the load balancer level, now you can. Might be time to look at removing that Nginx cluster that you've got sitting there, yeah, if the heart desires. On the serverless front, we haven't had a lot of serverless news for a while. Lambda increases maximum payload size from 256K to 1 megabyte for asynchronous invocation. So if you wanted a way to slow the startup of your Lambda function even more, now you have it. You start giving it really big, really big files comparatively speaking, I guess. SES, you know, more observability around dedicated IP addresses because, you know, we're all paying $600 a month for a dedicated IP for our SES environments, I'm sure. And then step functions got some love with you now being able to query Amazon Q to work out why it doesn't work, and support for service quotas. So a little bit of love on the step function front. On the security side, Security Hub now supports the CIS Foundations benchmark version 5. So, you know, you can go back to your compliance, you know, security teams and say, yay, you know. Client VPN now support for macOS Tahoe, and the AWS transfer family's now got some additional IAM capability, which is nice if you're in the transfer world of things. On the Devon Ops front, Cognito got some love, now can do some nifty OAuth 2.0 things if you're playing in that sort of space and haven't been scared off by the fact that Cognito is a real pain in the butt to get up and running. CloudWatch metrics to monitor EC2 instances exceeding I/O performance. So again, you know, you'll notice a few things this month have been around the idea of increasing observability. It's almost as if AWS has gotten some feedback, but it's hard to understand what's going on in your AWS environment sometimes, and we'd like a little bit more visibility into things. Systems Manager, Patch Manager launches security update notifications for Windows. So again, more on the observability front. Backup enhancement plan, schedule preview stuff. So, you know, a little bit more capability in your backup front. And AWS now supports immediate resource discovery within a region. So if you're using Resource Manager, it can now automatically see everything in there. You don't need to go back and reconfigure it when you're going into a new account for the first time. One of those nice to have things, you know, it's one less thing for you to trip over when you're deploying a new account. On the other stuff, Amazon Connect, wouldn't be an update if I didn't throw at least one Connect thing in there. Outbound campaign support, preview dialing for greater agent control. well. This is in response to a bunch of stuff that's been going on in the EU around outbound contact centers and needing to understand who it is that the contact center is ringing and the purpose for the call before the call is placed. So in Connect now, you can see, you know, what the customer record details are and why they're in the outbound call flow, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it's basically just so you can tick a box to say, yes, I'm compliant with that law now. Amazon DCV releases new update with enhanced keyboard handling and web auth support. This is particularly interesting for anybody who might be doing web browser capability with Bedrock Agent Core. If anybody's gone down that route, this enables some cool stuff for you now with your real-time preview capability. So if you've gone into that world, that'll make sense. If you haven't, then it's just a way for your AI agent to be able to do web browser stuff. And then DCV gives you a way to be able to see in a web browser what's going on in real time. So when it doesn't work, you can go and see why, because A/B testing got in your way and did something that it didn't expect. AWS Transform now enables Terraform for VMware network automation. So if you're living in the VMware world on AWS with Terraform, so like ticking 3 boxes in a row, your life just got a little bit easier. If you're only ticking 2 of those boxes, sorry. Billing view. This is a really interesting one for particularly people playing in the enterprise space. Billing view now supports cost management data from multiple organizations. So until recently, if you go into your billing view, you would only be able to see the bill for the organization and all the accounts residing within the organization. Now you can actually do it across multiple organizations. So if you're one of those crazy people who have got an organization for production and an organization for non-production, don't do that. But if you have done that, now you can actually, you know, maintain visibility of your costs across both of them, which is a nice to have. One of those, you don't realize it's going to be a real pain in the butt until you actually go down the road, and by which time it's too late. We do have one more segment this month in the What's New, because this has become a little bit of a thing now. I remember years ago when AWS said that one of their big selling features was the fact that they don't deprecate services. That's very much not a thing anymore. All of the services up on the screen will not be taking new customers after November 7th. So if you've been sitting there thinking that you might get your code catalyst on, you got a week. There's a bunch of, you know, fraud detector, Glacier, S3, object lambdas, migration hub, systems manager capabilities around, what is it, change manager, incident manager, ThinkBox, and a bunch of other IoT bits and pieces. Some of these, like, you know, application discovery service, migration hub, are being replaced with Transform. Others are going the way of the dodo because, well, they haven't really had a whole heap of uptick. So if you've been sitting there needing one of these, you've got another week. Otherwise, services go bye-bye for new consumers. That was it for the month.
Thanks, Matt. Just one clarification here. Glacier here means just a standalone version. There's still, within S3, there's still a storage tier called Glacier, which does what standalone version used to do. Yep. And that brings us to our first speakers for today. Dale and Ezra. This one.
Oh. There we go. Okay. Sorry. Yes. Really disorganized today. Do we want it in this view or that view? Yeah, that's fine. Fine. Okay. I didn't put any notes, but yeah, that's all right. We'll make it work. Yes. And so I think we just, is this working?
Hello?
Can you hear it?
Hello? Yes.
It's working. All right. Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to AWS Melbourne User Group. My colleague, my friend, Dale Orders, and myself, Hazra Ali. Today, we'll be presenting on AWS Identity Access Management, Access Analyzer. We only have 30 minutes. It's a full packed agenda, as you can see, with some definitions of what is Identity Access Management, Access Analyzer, permission cycles, finding dashboards, demo, Kahoot. And if we do have time, the last 5 minutes will be for Q&A session. If we don't have time, so please don't feel hesitant. Reach out to myself or Dale. At the end, we'll be around to answer any questions that you have. My ask for you is pay attention because there is a prize to win at the end. So you have to be in it to win it. All good? Let's start. What is Identity Access Management Access Analyzer? It analyzes resource-based and identity-based policies. It's to do with policies and potential unintended accesses. Includes policy validation, custom policy checks, and policy generation. Features to simplify the permissions and the management as well. It operates on per region base for external and internal analyzers. Unused access analyzers are usually global based as well. Now, there are 3 types of permissions in the cycle. The first one is to set the permission, you verify it, and then you refine your permissions as well. So when you set, it means you grant the right permission. Verify means you review that you're giving it to the right person and not someone who's just randomly there. And then you refine it, making sure that you identify and remove those unneeded accesses, those ones that have been created a long time ago and you no longer need it. So it's just a bulk in the whole access flow. Now, how does this cycle relates to IAM Access Analyzer? When you set the right permissions, you actually use the analyzer policy validation. When you verify the permission intent, you use the analyzer findings. And when you actually refine the unused permissions, you're using the analyzer policy generation. Now, there are 3 types of IAM access analyzers. Internal, which is within your AWS account within your organization. You have the external, which is external parties outside your organizations, such as your MSPs, which is your material service providers. And then you have the unused IAM roles, users, and API keys. Let's see how they all fit together. When you validate permissions, you're making sure that the dashboard consolidates and findings from all analyzers for efficient management, and you can have a better oversight of it. When you verify your permissions, you're making sure that users can actually filter it, it is usable, and you can prioritize it, and the resources can be tailored inside and perform actions as and when is needed. Most importantly, you need to refine your permissions, making sure it's real time, up to date, so that if anything goes wrong, the security team is informed and they are aware of what you're doing. And if they have to take any actions or make any changes in time to help your organization, to protect your organization, they can do that. So it's very important. Now we'll move over to some of the screenshots of how you can actually go about using it. So with the validate permissions, you can go to the console, the API, and the CLIs as well. Use the policy editor in AWS IAM. And in that policy editor, you can choose the JSON tab. And under the tab, you can see the actual validation panel below the policy. So these are just some screenshots of how it will look like. And then when you verify the permissions, you can just create the analyzer, review it, making sure it's active towards the finding. You can archive the intended accesses and remove the unintended ones. When you refine, it means you remove the unused permissions, those that are no longer needed. It was provided to your users in the organization long time ago, and they must have actually left the organization now, or they've actually moved to a different role and they don't actually need those accesses anymore. So you remove them, as well as you remove the services actions from the policies as well. Right, so that was my segment. I will hand it over to Dale, who will continue with the rest of the presentation and workshop. Thanks.
Great, thank you, Hazra. I think that deserves a clap. Okay, so I'll get through the remaining part quickly because I know we're all keen to do the quiz and hopefully win a prize. Before we get there, I do want to quickly show you what the findings dashboard looks like. Well, actually, firstly, I want to go through some of the features of the dashboard. So the first of which is that it actually aggregates your findings. So it will go through either your entire account or your entire organization, and it will collect all of those resources. That includes roles, users, API keys, anything that is that has been created within your account that could pose a security threat. It actually displays those within your dashboard. You have the option to filter, because obviously if you've got an account, you may have a lot of resources. You want to be able to filter and to quickly find which resources you want to analyze or remove. So it does give you that option. And it also provides you with real-time updates. So you don't have to be waiting for information to come through. The actual dashboard itself displays information in real time. So let's have a look at what the dashboard looks like. Now, I was going to show you this live because I actually did create this myself. And then I went back into my account later on and realized it costs $8.80 US dollars to create an analyzer. So given that I am a cheapskate, I did not want to do that again. So I've just taken a screenshot. So this here is an example of what the findings will look like. As you can see at the top, we have the active findings. We also have it represented in various different graphical representations. So depending on how you want to display that information, you have the options there. Hazra also mentioned archive rules. So archiving is a really important feature. So it may actually show you security threats that to you are not security threats. You may have API keys that you intended to create, and you don't want them to scan them. You don't want them to show them within your findings display. So you can actually archive that so that it removes it from the scanning process. Okay, so we know what the findings dashboard entails. How do we actually combine the IAM Access Analyzer to actually remediate a security threat? So, for example, we may have some unused access keys. How would we address that? How can we integrate it with existing AWS services to remediate that? Well, firstly, we have our IAM Access Analyzer, which we can use with Amazon Event Bridge. So Amazon Event Bridge will filter the findings that have been produced by the analyzer. It will then trigger an AWS Lambda target, which will then send an email notification to the account users to tell them that their access keys are no longer valid. And it can also rotate the IAM access keys. So for example, if you still want users to have access to the account, you may then wish to have the Lambda function automatically rotate those keys. So this is one way that you could integrate IAM Access Analyzer with other AWS services. Another way is if you have IAM Access IAM roles. Again, we have our Access Analyzer, which integrates with EventBridge. It triggers a Lambda function. Now this time, we are going to use a deny statement that this Lambda function is actually going to attach to the detected IAM role, thereby ensuring that that role is no longer able to be used. It will also send an email notification to the security team, who can then perform a review of the role if it needs to be removed altogether. So this is another way that you could potentially integrate IAM Access analyzers with other services to better secure your AWS account. As I said, we do have some very quick demos. I don't know if people can see in the back, if I can actually enlarge this. Can people see this? Yep. So basically at the top, we have the choice of the 3 analyzers. We then give a name to the analyzer. We can decide a tracking period, so the number of days that we want, the threshold by which we want a resource to be considered. I'll just stop there. The number of days that we want the threshold by which we want a resource to be deemed unused. So for example, if it's 90 days, we're saying that any resource that hasn't been used for 90 days is therefore defined as being unused and will be represented within our findings dashboard. We can choose to use either our current organization or our current account. We can exclude IAM users by using tagging. So you can see underneath there, we can exclude accounts, or we can even exclude accounts within our organization. So you'll see here, I have an organization and I'm just going to exclude this account here by clicking the exclude button. You'll see there that it is now going to exclude that account. And if I go to the bottom, yeah, so that's the IAM roles if I want to exclude any IAM users or roles. And then at the bottom there, I just click create analyzer. So that is how we create an analyzer. Next one. How do we validate our policies? So we're back in the IAM console. We're going to go to policies, and I'm going to paste in a policy. Now this is a bad policy because it's giving way too much access. You'll see it's giving all access to all resources. Underneath, you'll see we have a security tab. This here is provided so as to assist me in being able to assess the security posture of my AWS policy. And it also provides me with an alternative way of being able, a better way, a more secure way of being able to write this policy. So that is another feature that is offered by IAM Access Analyzers. Okay, I know that's a lot of information, but we've now come to the fun part because we have a Kahoot. So for those that don't know, Kahoot is a quiz. So if you have your phone, you can either scan the QR code or you can go to www.kahoot.it and type in the game pin that you see there. So I'll give people a moment to do that. Yeah.
Raise your hand if you
need help with that. Yeah. Okay. Oh, Bill Gates. Bill Gates is playing. Alrighty. I think we're almost ready to begin.
Yep.
We've got-
All good, everyone?
It's all good. Anyone need?
Everyone registered?
I think
Yeah.
there's a few more. All right, I think we're good. I think we're good. Okay. All right, so you want to get the correct answer, but you also want to do so in the shortest amount of time because you get extra points for being quick. And we are playing for a prize, so you know, we've got to take this seriously. Okay. Okay, question 1. What is AWS IAM Access Analyzer used for? Can people see the answers? Yeah. Yep, all good. Multiple screens. Okay. Zoom. Okay. Is that better?
Yeah, all good.
Oops. Okay. All righty. Good. Yeah. Looking good. All right. DD is on top. Let's see. Next question. What is an analyzer in IAM Access Analyzer? Stephen, can you see at the back there the answers? Yep, all good. There's multiple. Yep, multiple. Okay. All right. Everyone's doing well. It's going to come down to who's the quickest. Okay. New leader. Next question. When you create an analyzer, what must you specify? We might have very quickly touched on this in the demo. Yep. Awesome. Okay. How can you automatically hide or ignore certain findings? Cool. All righty. Yeah. It's pretty close. Okay. Question 5, IAM Access Analyzer can analyze which types of AWS resources. Now, I actually don't think I mentioned this. I don't know if you did, Hazra. So anyway, we'll see. We'll see if you might be able to make a guess. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. That's all right. That was probably our fault because we didn't, I'm not sure we actually mentioned that. So yeah, it's only certain number of resources can be configured with IAM Access Analyzer. Next question, what is the main difference between an internal and external analyzer in IAM Access Analyzer? Yep. That's good. All right. Who can create an external analyzer? Yeah. So only a delegated administrator or management account owner of the organization can create an external analyzer. Yes. Alrighty. So a few more questions left. What does an IAM access analyzer finding represent? What does it represent? Yep. Alrighty. So F is still in the lead. 2 more questions left. An unused resource can be monitored until something days. So we spoke about tracking.
I think this was mentioned clearly.
Nope. 365. Okay. All good. All right, one more question to go. IAM Access Analyzer validates your policy against what? Okay, so it validates it against policy, grammar, and best practices. So both of those two have to be correct in order for you to have a valid policy. Awesome. So let's see who our winner is. In 3rd place, we have Mal. Oh, we should have claps. Yeah. Serge is in 2nd, and our winner is F. Who is F? Oh, awesome. Did you want to come up here and, yeah, come up here? Alrighty, so we have a book. This is, unfortunately, it's a little bit rough because I did get this from, earlier this year, I went to Reinforce, which is a AWS security conference in Philadelphia, and I got this book. I got it signed by the author. Unfortunately, it did have to travel like 30 hours in my bag, so it looks a bit rough, but it's a very well-traveled book. It has not been read, so despite appearances, that is yours. Thank you. Thank you. We'll take a picture as well. Alrighty. So that it concludes. I hope we haven't gone too far over time. Before we finish, I will put our QR codes. If anyone wants to connect with either myself or Hazra, this is our LinkedIn, QR codes to both of our LinkedIns. So please feel free to connect with us there. Yeah, but otherwise that's it for us. Thank you. Alrighty. Oh, yep. We're done.
Feel free to take your laptop.
Yeah, thank you. There we are, and that's yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Bill and Hesra. That was useful and fun. So the quiz was a good thing. Vanita, if you would like to come up, we can get your talk started. We have some up. Okay. This one for. I'll need to click here, but let me know when you're ready. And
Okay, just a second. Let me go into the presentation. For some reason. Just a second, let me see. Yeah. Yeah. No. It's just the tab only, right? Okay.
And all yours.
Great. Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm Vanita. Today we are going to see how Amazon Q developer CLI revolutionized the web application deployment by developing it locally and going into production-ready AWS infrastructure. Through this demonstration, you can see how a single CLI tool, Amazon Q, helps hours of coding. Instead, you can just configure the web application and deploy it within minutes. So I am Vanita. I have nearly around 25 years of experience in IT. This is my LinkedIn handle if somebody wants to connect with me as well. So today's agenda is about, we'll talk about what is Amazon Q, and then what are the core capabilities. And we'll see a little demo. Hopefully it will all go good. It's a live demo followed by questions. If you have questions, please have it. I'll answer it in the end. So before jumping into what is Amazon Q, I just wanted to set the context here. What are the developers spending most of their time currently, especially in the software development lifecycle, right? They are working on the business requirements, planning for that, writing new code or getting an existing code and refactor it, or fixing issues or bugs, right? And then writing unit tests and then automating infrastructure. So it was found that developers spend most of their time in fixing issues, running and maintaining the infrastructure or the application components. And only 27% is more efforts are put towards innovation and transformations, which means we have only less than an hour of code developer does in a day. So what we can do for that? So what makes a great generative AI tool from the developer's perspective, right? So the first one is, there are a lot of different reasons, but I have taken only top 3 reasons here. The quality of responses. So we want a very good code suggestions based on whatever code we already have or new code generations, fix bugs, and then do a security scan and all those things, right? And next one is, we want the AI tool to be up to date. We don't want a tool which is outdated or providing suggestions when it is not going to be useful to us. The third one is, coming from AWS cloud perspective, it needs to have that cloud knowledge, best practices, what are the architecture, best architecture patterns. So all these things will make a very good tool. So let us compare whether Amazon Q has all these things, right? So Amazon Q is Amazon's proprietary generative AI power assistant for building, operating, deploying, and transforming software and also infrastructure with advanced capabilities of managing data and AI and ML. We can create entire application components and infrastructure within minutes instead of spending long time, right? And all with a natural language conversation. It's provide codes based on the developer's requests. And if you have existing code, for example, legacy code written in C# and you don't know what is that, you can ask Amazon Q to explain what it is. And apart from that, you can enable code review as well. What it does is it review your code and provide security, vulnerability report, scan report, based on critical, low, high, and all those details. And also you can pick and choose certain part of your code and ask to write the unit testing as well. Instead of you waiting and running, preparing for the unit testing for days, you can ask Amazon Q to prepare it within minutes. And also, if you have a code which is written in, for example, Windows, and you want to move it to Linux, or you have a old version of Java which you need to upgrade, so you can use transformation as well in that case, where Amazon Q can help you with that. And as usual, it helps with infrastructure automation. It may be a Terraform or CloudFormation. You can ask and it will build it. And also it's support multilingual. And these are some of the key core basic that is required for any developer. So in summary, what we can say is Amazon Q accelerate development. What it means, instead of developers spending days creating the boilerplate template, searching documentation, or debugging your syntax errors, you can focus on business problems and creating innovative features. Amazon Q doesn't see just one line of code. Actually, you can provide a whole project structure. It will analyze and provide suggestions. And also, it automatically comes with all those AWS architectural patterns and best practices. And you can integrate with different endpoints like IDE. For example, if you are using virtual VS Code, you can integrate with that, Eclipse, PyCharm. And also, you apart from IDE, you can integrate with AWS, other AWS services because it's a native tool. You can also collaborate with GitHub and GitLab, and you can upload your repo directly there. And you can integrate with communication platforms like Slack and Teams as well, where you can just query, for example, if you want to see what is the cost for your infrastructure, you can just send it in the Teams and you can get the results from there. And also you can integrate with business applications like Salesforce, Microsoft Exchange, etc. And of course, the BA tools like Amazon QuickSight. For example, if you want to see how many users are there, what they are using, you can integrate with Amazon QuickSight as well. And it is a complete comprehensive solution. What does it mean? It means you can integrate with your development ecosystem, generate complete project structures, which means deployment scripts, documentation, README files, everything in one place. Okay, so what are the AWS generative AI stack look like? So if you want to create your own AI model and train it, then we will be going with Amazon SageMaker AI. And AWS has already come up with a lot of high performance compute as well. And if you want to create your own agent, you can leverage Amazon Bedrock. You can use a proprietary Amazon Bedrock model like Nova, or you can also utilize the partner modules like Cloud. But today's interest is about how we can improve the software development lifecycle, which is productivity, right? So we have two key services here in Amazon Q. One is Amazon Q Developer, another one is Q Business. So if you want to analyze your organization data or content or system, then you can go with Q Business. It's not free. It comes in two flavors actually. One is per user, you will be paying around $3 per user per month, which is called Lite. And another one is Pro. You'll be paying around $20 per month per user. The other one is Developer. So if you are a beginner, you can use Queue Developer, which is free. You don't need to have any AWS account. You can just, you need to have a builder ID and start using it. But if you are a part of an organization, you want to create a team, then you can go with the Pro as well, which comes somewhere around $19 per user per month. And also it comes with QuickSight integration, where you can see how the user utilization is, and accordingly you can take decision. But today, let us see how this Amazon Queue Developer, that is our main criteria today we are discussing, how this can be deployed. You already seen in AWS console, you can utilize queue. Other one is the IDE. Whichever IDE you pick and choose. Currently, it supports few IDEs like VS Code, Visual Code, Eclipse, PyCharm, etc. Or if you have a MacBook, you can install it in your terminal and then start using it. I will show both of these CLI and IDE in here. Apart from that, you have other integration as well, like Slack, Teams, but we are not going to discuss that today. Okay, next one is the live demo, which is critical part for today. What we are going to create. I was thinking about what we can do today. So I thought, okay, let us do some user experience where we can see and play some games and see how it is. What we are going to do in our demo is we'll create a web application and test it locally. And then once we are happy, let's move to AWS. And I'm going to ask it to build in ECS Forget with some load balancer for me to access it. And in the end, I will show how to push it to Git repository as well, if we have time. Okay, so, okay, you can't see it, is it? I'm sorry. Are you able to see it? No. Okay, then my backup plan is, let us go with VS Code. I hope. Sorry. No, I think I have this one. This is better. Yeah. Okay. I can't see it here. Oh, I need to use it like this. So Amazon Q, if you have installed in your VS Code, you can see it here, down here. Let me sign out and then sign in for you just to show how it connects quickly. So this is what I was talking about. You can use your builder ID to connect to it. Or if you want, if you have AWS account, you can use that as well.
Would you like to mirror the screen?
Oh yeah, better. Yeah. Okay, so oh, sorry. Okay, I was thinking it will go ahead. Just log in with your builder ID, and that's it. It's connected. All good. Okay, so before I build, I have created a sample chess web application. I will show you how it looks like. This is what it built. I just built it yesterday night, just with whatever command. I will just copy paste here to build the same. Hopefully, as it is an AI assistant, hopefully it will build the same. I don't know. So this is what it has built and pushed it. So it has created the app template, which you can see it here, web application, and also you have all the Terraform infrastructure here. Okay, let's create the same thing now. So I have copied all the commands, what I am going to use here, because to save some time, it takes some time to build it as well. So what I am trying to do here is, I am asking it to create a chess application, which will teach me how to play chess. So this prompt is really very, very important, because if you don't ask it to create professionally, it will just give you a basic web application. So that's why I put it as professionally built. And also I asked it to use with the Python as the backend. So let us see what it does. So it's working on it, and it will come and tell you, this is what the plan. It will provide a plan, and then once you are happy with the plan, you can agree to it. I hope you are able to see it. So what you can see is that it is providing all the information on, like, it's creating the requirements of txt file, and then all the files it is trying to create it as well. So you can provide yes or no here, or you can, in the beginning of your queue chat, you can provide trust, so it always don't ask, but I will keep it like this so that it creates all those files. So I can walk you through what's happening here. So first one is, it's creating Python environment at the backend. So that's what it's doing. Little bit slow. Let's see. Maybe it's my Wi-Fi. I don't know. Okay, so it has built application, and if you run this, you can see, I think I already have it in port 5001. Let me refresh it. I hope it's the same. Okay, it's good that it has created this, and you can start playing here. For example, I'm just doing it. You can start playing whatever you like. And if you want a bubble here, like chat bubble, everything you can do, whatever you want, you can just provide it in a natural language, it will build it for you. So I'm happy with this. I want this to be deployed to AWS infrastructure. And before going into this, I just want to show you few things that Q is capable of. You can create some rules. For example, if you want a cost optimized architecture, you can create tools saying always go with cost optimized architecture. And also you can say, okay, can you please always build in best practices with cost optimized, or you can say always run Python virtual environment before you build anything. You can say get the information from MCP server, all those things we can configure it through tools, rules. So once you say create rules, it creates it under this .amazon MQ. Under that, you have these rules created here. So I have asked it to create a virtual Python environment. That's why it is always creating all those Python script when it is running it under the virtual environment here. Okay. Now I want it to run deployment into AWS. I'm just in the natural language. I'm saying I want you to create an ECS forget with load balancer. That's it. So it is going ahead and creating those scripts, and it will say what it is updating as well. So it's creating a Docker file, and then variables and output file for Terraform. And also I asked it to be built in Terraform. So it's doing everything in here. So the script is now ready. So you can, if you don't know how to deploy it, you can still, can you please deploy it? It will do it as well. So which means that you no need to be a coder. So you just need to know what you need to have. Like you can go with creative thinking and that's it. And Amazon Q will help with all other things. Okay, yeah, run. Make sure you configure your AWS credentials so that it will go smooth. So in the end, it provides what it has built, like interactive chess game, structured lessons, what as I asked for, and then move validation, professional UI. I asked for high availability. I didn't ask for high availability, but it comes with that because it follows the security best practices. And then auto scaling is already automatically created and also logging. Okay, so now I'm going to ask, can you please deploy it? So let's see whether it's trying to create the resources here. Oh, okay. It is saying okay, it seems like it's not able to run from here. What I will do is I'll run from the CLI. I don't know whether you're able to see it. Yeah, okay. Okay, it seems like my AWS credential. Oh, just a second. Let me. Okay, I didn't see that. That's the issue before. Because the token has a validity of only an hour. So I'm giving trust so that it will go ahead without any issues. So it's initiated in Terraform. Terraform will take care of all the deployments. Let's wait for it to go ahead. Meanwhile, what I think is I will demo the review code explanation in parallel. So if you look into this code, which it has already created, you can take any, for example, app.py, take anything here. And if you want to know what it does, so you can just right click Amazon Q and then ask it to explain what it is. So it will come up here saying what this particular code does. And if you want to run a unit test, as I said, you can just right click and then ask it to write a unit test as well. Generate test, right? And also, if you want to run a security scan on all these code, you can do that as well. For example, just run review/review, it will go ahead and do the entire code scanning and come up with the security report, which you can see here. I already ran a few things. So it is reporting here what are those security incidents. You can just right click it and ask Amazon to fix the problem as well. Let me see what's happening with the, it takes some time for the ECS cluster to come up. So it didn't take much time for us to build this chess app, maybe around some 10 minutes in all the natural language, where we'll get a chess app soon. I'm happy to take some questions if you have any. Meanwhile, while it is building it. Yeah, you can see it is coming up. Let's wait for some more time. Yeah. So here, I never told how to create VPC, subnets, all those networking components, but based on the AWS best practices, it's creating all those things in the backend before it creates the web application. Yep.
Problems and find the code that understand more because you have pre-AI experience. What do you think will happen next generation of developers without this pre-experience? Will just type their wishes and get the result, and the result is not what you want.
Oh yeah. So for example, when I built this, I didn't get what I want as well. So I was like, oh, this is not what I wanted. It is building something else. So it all depends on the exact prompt, what you are passing as well. That is one thing. Second thing is what I told AI assistant is, this is the website. Can you please, for example, chess.com, can you please see and based on that, build my web app as well, similar. So it is able to go and scan that, and then sort of it was able to create our website similarly, but not exactly the same. Yeah.
There's no doubt about AI.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about what kind of development we have 5 years when it's senior people.
Oh, of course. Of course, you can't use AI as take it into production, put it there. This is a basics template, like what you want in your web application. On top of that, you need to innovate, put a lot of other features on top of it is what is required. I think. Oh, yes, of course. So now you have the, that's correct. You need, yes, I even in cloud code as well. Sometimes whatever it provides, it's not going to work. That's where you need to have your expertise, which is really very, very important. You are not going to just trust the AI and build it and leave it there. It's not going to be like that. You can take it as a template, fine tune it, and then put it into production. That is always there. So the developers are not going away anywhere for another, maybe in my lifetime, I hope so, because with this, you have the basic code and you can go creative and you can do a lot of other things. That's what it means with AI prompting. Yeah. So now it has come up with the cluster. I think it is going to add the ECR repo. So once the repo is updated, I hope the repo is updated. Once the task manager definition is updated here, you can see the tasks are coming up. Let's wait for, I hope it is all good. So yeah, it has implemented and it should provide me the URL for chess app. This is the one. So let us see how it is looking in our browser. I think I copied with. Okay, so whatever you have seen in the local, so you can quickly promote it into production. That's the demo for today. And if you want to push it to Git repository, you can just type it here and say, can you please push it to my Git repository? Only thing is, Amazon Q doesn't do automatically all these things. It's not an agentic AI. It is just an AI agent. You need to tell what needs to be done, then it will do it. That's the only difference between agentic AI and AI agents here. Yeah. Do you have any more questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Sanita. Yeah. Oh. Thank you, Fanita. That was a good demo of Amazon Q CLI. It is all interesting technology, and as you can see, based on what's new earlier, Amazon is heavily investing in all things AI, probably more than they need to, but that's how it is. Which though brings us to the next part of our schedule. The marketplace segment. Is anybody at the moment hiring and want to give a brief pitch? No? What a lovely market to have at the moment. In that case, I we'll wrap it up. We've got some time then after for some socializing before we will all have to go. But first, another thank you to our sponsors, and group CIVO and NAB. They provided all the foods and drinks that you can see at the back. Please take some. It's perfect for lunch tomorrow, and otherwise we'll probably end up throwing it away. So free lunch, what meetup provides that too? And of course, we'll be back next month, last Wednesday of the month, as always, 26th of November. Hope to see you then. Thank you all.